So my next question is that being in a romantic relationship, lots of times, actually always, if we are going into the depth of a relationship, if it's a long term relationship, it helps us explore our own insecurities and thought patterns. So how do you think partners should support each other when such patterns are erupting slowly, because it's not going to come all at once? As you're moving ahead in relationships, things will start coming up and you'll know that, okay, I did not know this part of you. So,
Hmm.
and when those things happen, how can two people support each other? Because they obviously love each other, but they might not know how to move about it. And while that, while supporting, how can they move towards more love and acceptance for each other in the process of it?
Hmm. Sure. And I think it's a very good question because a lot of time people don't consciously realize that a relationship will bring, and in fact, a relationship is a mirror which will show you various parts of your own self which you would never know. And then certain good parts you might feel very loving, very caring. You might not realize that I was capable of caring for someone so much, and the negative aspects as well. You usually, a lot of time we hear people say that you bring the worst in me, so that worst is already there inside. It's not that the other person, so it's already there, it's just the situation got a certain way. So you will see both the good and bad of yourself which you might not have experienced earlier. So it's, again, it's good to be open that this is a relationship is a process of learning more about myself as well, and with time I'll get to know my own patterns. And all of us have patterns. None of us is a clean slate. We all have our own patterns, and patterns are not necessarily bad. There are certain adaptive or good healthy patterns. Some are maladaptive or unhealthy patterns. We have to take care of the unhealthy patterns as and when they arise. We can become more aware, try to fix it around here and there. But again, when we observe patterns, for example, in our partner, then it's important, because a lot of time in our relationship we complain. Most of the fights are around this. Why are you like
Mhm.
this?
Oh,
Either of the
okay.
partner, fundamental complaint in the fight is, why are you like this? Why are you doing like this? Why do you say such things? So it's a questioning of certain patterns. Okay, fundamentally most of the fights are around this only, that why are you like this. So again, it will help us if we change this question slightly, and ask, instead of saying why are you like this, instead of pointing fingers, if we can ask, I wonder why this person is like this, that would suddenly take us toward a very different perspective. We will start to wonder where this person is coming from, what is his or her background, and then we can empathize with the person. And obviously, if those are maladaptive pattern, we can communicate and change things with the person. But complaining never helps. And I use this with a lot of my clients. I always teach them how to communicate in a non-blaming way. And I think this might be important, although this is fundamental to relationship. What do we do when someone attacks us? We defend. So
Defend.
whenever you complain कि तुमने क्यों नहीं किया, why didn't you do this, why you like this, the other person, instead of understanding that you are feeling hurt or you are feeling bad, they will start to defend. They will start giving reasons instead of, and then you might feel the person is not understanding me or is not listening to me. As soon as you communicate something in a blaming way, why did you do this, the other person will defend, they won't understand. So it's always good to say, like, non-blaming communication, that I felt this way, rather than saying you made me feel this way.
Yeah, that's so fundamental. There's such a fine line. And that's such a natural response for most of people, that they go ahead in a blaming way. And when the
Mhm.
response comes, they're like, why are you behaving like this? I was just sharing what I felt.
Mhm.
But
Mhm.
that was like, that's really essential to understand that, because the way you're starting it's in a blame mode, then the other person cannot like It takes a
Hmm.
lot of like different perspective to try to understand that. But the initial thing would be to defend
Hmm.
yourself. And then
Hmm.
both the people are confused at why is this happening.
Yes, and then it becomes a cycle of then they complain about something, then they defend, then they complain that why are you not listening? Then no one is able to listen because both the parties are just attacking and defending.
Yeah, right.
Hmm.
It's beautiful. And you know, when you said that part that you bring out the worst in me, I could think of that song that's just the opposite of it, that I like me better when I'm with you. So it's like that way also. Like people see that
Mhm.
when you're so that's a beautiful part of love. But if
Mhm.
that's happening, the other can also happen. So I guess this is an important
Yes.
perspective to keep in mind. Both the better and the worst part were within you only. That
Mhm.
company is obviously bringing it out.
Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah.
And again, I think relationship can be a beautiful mirror for self-reflection. Like a lot of time people talk about again that I want to do self-inspection, I want to do introspection, I want to meditate. But if you do it alone, you will never reach certain parts of you alone. It's only in relationship that you can reach certain parts of you. Otherwise, you might feel I'm absolutely fine, I'm a good person. But be in a relationship and then you will see certain sides of you, which obviously can be improved, but you will only access them in relationships.
Yeah, that's true. And that's beautiful. Wow.